tuned into Mix Station Radio Live. The views and the opinions of the guests and the hosts you hear on Mix Station Radio Live are not necessarily those of the staff and the management of Mix Station Radio Live, its sponsors, or advertisers.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Good morning, family and friends.
Good morning.
Welcome to Diary of a Preacher's Kid. We are excited about what we're going to discuss today. Today is it's not. Today is the last month of July. Can't believe the time is just ticking away with the summer. Last day of July. What did I say?
Last month.
Oh, okay. Don't do it. Don't start it. Don't do it. Don't try me. Try Jesus. So we want to welcome you all. We have Octavia back with us.
Yes, glad to be back. Missed you guys.
She was on a little vacay from us 2 weeks ago, and we had my sister Veronica and her husband Michael, and we had a wonderful show with them. And today we are going to talk about female relationships. Our focus today is going to be girl code. So we are going to really break it down and look at positive female relationships versus questionable female relationships. How females interact with each other, and what is against girl code and what's in line with girl code.
Against the girl code.
The girl code, okay?
Going against the code, baby.
That's right. And we're going to see, are we really our sisters' keepers? That is very, very important. Yes. So we want you all to tune in and call in, have a conversation with us. And I'm going to let Octavia give the dial-in number for Girl Code Conversation.
Oh, yes. Please call in at 1-855-493-6499. Again, 1-855-493-6499. We would be glad to hear from you.
We want to hear from you.
Yes.
So let's start off with some me and my churchy self moments. Me and my churchy self.
You can't handle the truth.
That's right. Me and my churchy self. Sometimes when you get in an argument with people and you grew up churchy, and we are God's favorites, so God's not pleased. Oh, God's going to get them. Look at God. Little conversations like that. You do something wrong to me and you can stub your toe, and I'm gonna be like, God don't like ugly, because that's me and my churchy self. You have any churchy moments?
I'm trying to think. So many.
It is so many. It could have nothing to do with our disagreement, but you could trip off of the curb. If we just had an argument, I'm gonna say, God don't like ugly. See what happened?
Oh, I know one. I know definitely with the scripture. If you do something to really tee me off, or you're vindictive or spiteful, that's all right. They gonna reap what they sow. That's what you get.
Don't you worry about
it.
That's right. That's what you get with churchy folk. God don't like ugly. You gonna reap what you sow. Oh, what you did to me. Oh, you gonna see it again.
That's all right.
That's the word. So we put that in every situation. Me and my churchy self. Okay, let's progress on to girl code.
Come on.
So here's the deal. Growing up, again, it's four of us. So, of course, we know female relationships because we grew up in the same household.
Right.
Loyalty was always a big thing, and it still is.
Yes.
our family is so close. Not only that, we had examples in the generations before us, especially on my mom's side. So you could be mad at your sister, but you don't let nobody talk about them.
No.
I'm going to lay you out. I don't argue, but nobody better step in. So as far as girl code, there are certain things that I expected from my female relationships that I engaged in different areas of my life: high school, college, work, however I connected with other females. I placed the same expectations on my female friends that I had on my sisters, because as women, you just shouldn't do certain things, and then as women, we should always honor each other.
That's right. That's right.
Because we need female relationships. I'm blessed to say that my circle of friends, they are literally bonus sisters to me. And I am so grateful for my circle of sisters, bonus sisters. So, but there are some who I've met along the way who were not loyal to the sisterhood. So I'm just sitting here like, now that wasn't right. And I've been hurt in a lot of female relationships.
Yes.
So, Octavia, let's talk about you outside of our sisterhood, what your female relationships look like, and what was your expectation?
I know, well, first and foremost, I had a lot of associates. I guess I can say that as far as true friends, you can count them with one hand. As far as I am concerned, really one or two very true friends that I have. I had a lot of associates. I found out that in a lot of relationships, I don't like a bunch of gossip, drama, chaos, news carrying. And then if I'm close and we talk and I'm trying to vent, and then we get on the outs, all of a sudden you are revealing all of my vulnerability with the conversation. So with me, very few people are in my circle. And if I let you in and there is betrayal, you are cut very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, very quickly, because I don't have time for nonsense, mistrust. I don't need snakes in my life. So to me, mutual respect. What we talk about should be just between us. No matter how upset you may be, you should still know how to hold it.
Absolutely. So some girl codes that I have. Okay, first, let's just run down a list of girl codes. And again, for those of you who are tuning in, call in and let's discuss, female relationships and what is girl code. Again, that number is 1-855-493-6499. Number one girl code, I think, Octavia, you and I would agree on, is loyalty.
Yes, definitely.
Loyalty first, okay? Loyalty first. After loyalty, I think that if you honor your sister, you have to respect each other. Some people engage in relationships for different reasons. Some people like to have a relationship with someone who's going to look up to them. But they may not necessarily respect that person.
Right.
So I think it has to be loyalty, mutual respect, and just honor each other. As women, we need to learn to honor each other. How do we honor each other? Number one, girl code, dating, flirting, anything inappropriate with your partner, male counterpart, off limits, off the table.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
You should not have to ever question your bonus sister, your girl, about how she interacts with your man.
Hello.
Yes.
How about if it's in the past, 10 years ago, is that doable or not?
So are you saying if I am friends with a female and I'm with my guy
Yes.
and my friend has dated him like 10 years ago?
Yes.
So let's break it down even further.
Break it down.
Were we friends, me and this female?
Yes, y'all were friends.
That's a problem.
So I can tell you for me, if we were friends and she dated a guy 10 years ago and then fast forward, I am now with him, I would not have engaged in a relationship with him.
Amen.
That
Right.
breaks that.
That's
That
a no.
violates girl code.
No.
Does that
I don't
violate?
care.
Okay.
Yes.
That violates
I don't care how
girl
many
code.
years ago.
20 years. Give me
we're
20 years.
For me, I
40.
would not. 40.
Give me 40 years.
For me, now everybody's different.
Yes.
But for me, I have zero interest in becoming involved with anyone that my girlfriend dealt with.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
is just me. It's because,
Me too.
and Will, you met my circle of friends.
Yes, I have.
We have a very long history.
Yes, y'all do. Yes.
So I have friends where everybody calls Kimmy the OG because we've been friends since we were like 5 years old.
Bless her heart.
Then you have Gabby. We were friends since 15. Wow. So looking at that as you posed your question, I'm thinking, okay, if it was a dude that Kimmy or Gabby dated and then they approach me, no.
And I think that did happen to you a few months ago. With,
So,
I don't mention any names.
But
you can bring that in there.
It was something
Real
very
life issues.
awkward,
All right.
and it did happen. Someone who Kim dated in high school, and I only interacted with him through her. If anyone knows, where we came from, small neighborhood, everybody knows Kimmy and I were glued to the hip. At the hip, rather. And don't y'all disrespect me.
No.
So
Hear that, Kimmy?
She dated the guy, and fast forward, like I did not have a relationship with him. I think I had one math class with him, and fast forward 20 years later, he comes into town. And he reaches out to me via Instagram like, hey, I'm hoping I can see you. And I'm like, yeah, let me call Kimmy and see if we can all hook up. So it was just very strange. In that moment, I felt very awkward for him to ask to see me. So I was like, hey, Kimmy, did dude reach out to you? And she was like, no, I haven't seen him in years,
You was always on his mind.
So well, guess what? I ain't on his mind now. To me, so that breaks girl code. That immediately breaks girl code. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, my girlfriends are bonus sisters, okay? So, immediately, if her ex reaches out to me, I'm running it right back through to her. I don't care. She
Amen.
hasn't talked to him.
Amen.
So, I'm uncomfortable with connecting with my girlfriend's exes.
Amen.
Octavia?
Most definitely.
Okay.
To me, that's definitely breaking the girl code.
Yeah.
And to me, loyalty, trust. If I was to make that decision, I would not expect to continue a friendship, and I would not keep a friendship because I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's just uncomfortable
That's just low
for
to
me. And sometimes people may say, now I've had situations with other groups of friends where they're like, oh, you ran into him? Yeah, we had something, as you're saying, 10, 15 years ago. Nice guy. Girl, you should get with him. I'm married now. I have moved on.
No.
I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
So that's
There's
not.
no way. And know what? The other thing is, it would be so awkward. What
Yes.
if you all had like a gathering, cookout? I mean, it just would be.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, no
and there have been
way.
situations where I have other female friends and they have their separate group of friends, and they've stumbled into someone who dated one of their girlfriends. And it was some tension there.
I've done it.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I dated one of my homeboys' girls. And what happened is that everywhere I went at, this is nothing but God. Every person, it was the waiter was his name. The guy that pumped out gas, it was the same person name.
Wow.
The guy at the other place was the same person. It's just his name just kept coming up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so out of order. and I just, thank God nothing ever happened.
Right.
And
You
and
were
that
getting
was
some
experience.
strong messages there
Yes,
all the
Lord.
way
Yeah.
around.
God was saying, "Now come on,
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
Come on,
Right.
son. Rise
Telling
up there now,
you.
son." And they weren't
I
together
can't.
anymore. He moved on. He was
Right.
But still, though, that was his ex. And she was saying, "Well, I always wanted you." And I'm like, "Huh? What you mean?"
Right.
So that's the line. I always wanted you. That's the line. You
That's
gotta
the
follow.
line.
see.
Okay.
I always
Okay.
wanted
And then it's the point in sharing.
Yeah, I just no.
Ah.
For me, I'd be
do it.
like, you hug my best friend like that. No. And I will tell you again, I have a positive female connection from every walk in life. So from childhood to teenage. So again, childhood is Kimmy, teenage years is Gabby, then college is Lisa, graduate school is Fatima. And these connections, and there were many people that I met, but only a few that we latched onto.
Right.
So even if I ran into someone from college and they met Lisa, I'm Lisa, guess what? This, she dated someone, and when she got married, she had an ex that wanted me to come to his wedding. And I'm like, but I know you through Lisa. Like, don't try to get me involved in things. I don't play that. That just
was
me.
tight.
Well, I must say I was involved in a situation where, as though the young lady, I was involved with a young lady. They was friends from years ago, and it's like I didn't know they was friends.
Okay.
That I didn't know.
Okay.
Now
you can't help what you don't know.
Right.
Right. Now you
Right.
can't blame that on me.
Right.
Well, let
Can't
me
help what
listen
you-
some more. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Because once you brought to the light, what did you do after?
Right. Brother, I didn't know. And I was like, wow. But that young lady knows. So that was kind of breaking a girl code, I guess, in their side of, of them knowing.
Yeah.
So you don't have any knowledge as to what it looked like between them once it was discovered?
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
They whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
They
that
not-
trust will
they-
be gone.
They not, the best of friends, but they
I
whatever.
think it still has some effect.
Still, even
It
if
does.
you're not the best of friends,
Right.
let's say y'all
It's
y'all
still-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still would never date, even the homeboys that I don't deal with anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I still wouldn't date none of their exes or their wives.
Right. Okay.
I just wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
That's just
No.
something I wouldn't do.
I think that's rather low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some cats I
Some
know have
people
done
do.
it.
And
Some
you
cats
know
I
what?
have
They
done
have no type of conviction or conscience. They're just in the moment.
it. Yeah.
And most of the time, it's due to them just being downright selfish.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, no loyalty. So also,
No
you can
loyalty.
try, to me, you can really find out a lot of people when it comes down to your spouse or significant other, money,
Yep.
how you advance in life.
Absolutely.
All of these are things that a true friend is just what it's going to be.
That's right.
A true friend. Through the thick, through the thin, they are going to be loyal. I shouldn't have to see you winking at my husband.
Right.
Or I can't trust you if I decide that, I'm going to the store and I won't be home and I'm coming in on something.
Oh, now let me share. Exactly. Let me share. And my girlfriend.
Come on, call in, y'all.
The truth.
So I had a situation, someone that I was very close friends with, and we are not friends now. And you all can tell me if this breaks girl code.
Okay.
Okay? Look, you on it, excited. So I meet a guy. I was working my first job in DC. Yeah, I love it. And I go out to lunch, and this guy, he approaches me at KFC.
Okay.
Not bad looking, and he said he's a party promoter in DC. This was quite some time ago. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, when I looked at it, I had another friend who I was close with who was affiliated with the production company. So I was like, okay, sounds good. So we exchanged numbers, and I called my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
Right. And I'm like, hey, I met this guy, and it looks like the two of you kind of frequent the same places and you flow in the same circle. This is his name. This is what he drives. And have you met him? And she says, oh, no, Nay, I haven't met him, but I'll be on the lookout for him. I said, okay, because, yeah, he's kind of cute. I think I'm going to see what's up with him.
Yeah.
She said,
Hello.
okay.
Hello.
Well, we have a mutual male friend who lives out of state. And a couple of weeks later, he called me and he says, Renee. I said, hey, what's up? He says, I don't want to seem like I'm being messy, but it's some foul stuff going on, and I got to let you know because I don't want you and your girl to be dating the same guy. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He then tells me, which I did not have the conversation with him, you met a dude that drives a red Range Rover? I said, yeah. He said, and you asked your girl if she knew him and they flow in the same circle? I said, yeah. He said, well, she lied to you.
Dang.
I said, well, what was there to lie about? Exactly. So I'm like, well, what is there to lie about? I just asked her if she met him because he's a promoter. He said she did meet him, but when you told her that you met him and you all exchanged numbers, she then says, I think I'm going to check him out to make sure I'm not missing out on anything.
No, she didn't.
Knew him, connected with him, went on a date with him, then said, you met one of my close girlfriends, and proceeded to tell him who I was. And he was like, oh, yeah, Renee. Yeah, she was the brown skin cutie that I met up at KFC. Yeah, she's my friend. So you're going to bring me up to the dude, but to me, who I'm supposed to be your friend, you're going to deny knowing him. And the statement alone, I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing out on anything. So I never outed the guy for telling me. But also that conversation that I had with her when I asked, do you know him? That was my last conversation with her. And that's been about 15 years. We never talked.
I don't play that.
That to me broke girl code
Definitely.
over a perfect stranger. I didn't get involved. I just was like, I'm interested. If any of my friends tell me that they're even remotely interested in a guy,
Wow.
why would I then go and check him out?
Yeah.
And I know even being raised in the church as sisters, we would have guys that try to talk to the sisters. We let them know.
All of
Oh
y'all
no!
at the same time?
Yeah, no,
It's like, which
showing
one of
that
y'all
interest.
want me?
No.
Which one?
I
know
like
one of y'all.
all of y'all. Which
Yeah.
one of y'all want me?
No, no, we just don't. We don't play that. No, you loyalty to me is a priority.
Everything.
Everything.
On top of that, even there was someone who everybody thought he was a nice guy. And again, I'm the single sister. I'm the youngest daughter, flowing in the church circle. Oh, this guy is so nice. This guy is nice. You should check him out. And it was, I hear he likes you. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I'm not even checking for him like that, because he dated my cousin.
That's it. Bottom line.
Not even a first cousin, okay? Okay, so I don't even want to hear if he's even looking at me, if he said something to sister so-and-so at church or this one. Guess what? He dated my cousin. Blood is blood. We still in the same bloodline.
He wanted
That's
to keep
right.
it in the family.
But he
That's
never
right.
approached me.
Never.
He never approached.
It was
you.
just word of mouth. So people were saying, oh, you should check him
hook you
out.
up,
I
yeah.
hear. And I'm like, oh, no, he dated my cousin. Family is family.
Yeah, that's it.
So not just family code, but girl code. You
Yes.
know, I don't care if I ain't hang out with my cousin in 10, 15 years. That's my cousin. She could be married, have 10 kids now. That dude, you dated my cousin. No.
And you know, going back to your story with Broke Betty.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
that's
her
what her
code
name.
name. Broke Betty. Yeah,
Lord.
that's her code name.
User.
I gotta get that one.
Broke Betty. Broke, and that's what we called her. Broke Betty. Thank you, Tavy. Yeah, because we don't say names, but that is how we all referred to her, as Broke Betty. Continue on about Broke Betty. Let's hear it.
Yes, and to me, anytime you're going to do that at the beginning, there is no way I would ever trust you with a boyfriend, with
No.
a husband. That's just low.
It was no reason to continue the relationship.
No, it would have been cut.
So that's a red
Period.
flag. So we can sit up here and talk about dating relationships, but also female relationships.
Yeah.
When you see a red flag that you are friends with someone who does not have your back, that is a problem.
But you know what's even more difficult is what Will was stating. Oh, now they've already been in relationship prior with your buddy, be it girl or guy, and all of a sudden, but I always wanted you.
That's that line, baby.
It was something about you.
It was
Yeah.
always you.
But this is the thing.
Don't go for it.
Yeah, this is the thing. So if old boy says that and you fall for it, then you were checking for him even when we were together.
Yes.
I don't like that. And you know, I don't know, but I cut people off.
And with me, loyalty, and once I have you in my circle, the loyalty, the trust. So once that is broken, that is it. That is it. And everybody knows when you step over boundaries,
Yes.
you don't want to build walls, but when you cross over the line and boundaries, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm raising his hand.
Question in the building. Question in the building.
Right. But the backdrop of that story that I was saying was that in me and my homeboy relationship, we're good. Because what the situation was, the girl was trying to get back at him and try to use me. So that's what it was.
Right.
And me being the Negro that I was, you know, the dog that I was, amen, because I'm not that anymore. I was just like, yo, I'm going to get that.
Okay.
You know, that's the way.
And that's be
That
honest,
was,
yeah.
You know, that's what I was about. Nah, I'm going to get that, and I didn't get it.
Right.
How about that? How about
Uh-huh.
that? Because God intervened. Thank
Right.
God.
That's right.
So thank God for that situation. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen. And you know, really, when you look at that, it's a lot of people that are in the grave today day
Because of something like that. Yes,
because
sir.
of a bunch of foolishness
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
With a woman or a man trying to get back at the ex and
Yeah.
put somebody in the middle,
Absolutely.
and they are 6 feet under today.
Right.
True. So true.
Yeah, so be careful.
Amen.
So I stated my beliefs and my experience, but I'm going to also throw it in there. Where does the grace card come? Because some people can say, well, you should extend grace to your sister. So I have been challenged as to if I should have had a conversation with Broke Betty. For me, it wasn't worth it because off the
that's the way I
top,
feel.
this was my thing. Okay,
What is there to
there
talk
is
about?
grace, but I knew I could not move forward in a relationship with her. I would never trust her.
No.
Not only that, and I'll tell you why. She had engaged in other relationships that were questionable with our circle of friends from undergraduate.
So she has a
So
history.
I saw the pattern, but then it came to my doorstep. So I was like, this is just what she does.
Yes, that's
This
her
is what she
history,
does.
her pattern.
Yeah. So again, honoring red flags, not just in romantic relationships, but in your female sisterhood
Yes.
relationships. So if I were to continue on, I'm not going to be insecure in a relationship and feel like I got to keep my eye on old girl. That's just
Yeah.
not going to happen.
That's when you need to cut it. Anytime I have to constantly corner eye or I'm questioning,
Right.
No, you
It's
don't need no
over.
relationship like that.
So that breaks girl code. Did you have any other experiences?
I'm trying
Or
to
just, well, let me say this.
Yeah.
Also, while Octavia thinks, I also have friends I'm not friends with anymore. It still kind of goes back to relationships. I did have one female friend who told the guy I was dating that someone was interested in him. That violates girl code.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah.
Okay? So that breaks girl code. Why are you going to say that, you know? And again, it was at a work conference. I went to a separate conference than a friend in who I was dating at the time. They went to a conference together. So staff was split up. So you kind of bond with people when you go to these conferences. So why during one conference you're going to say, you know, this girl's interested in you? So that breaks girl code. Another one to be careful of is finances.
Definitely.
Mixing money
Yep.
in your friendships.
Yep.
Okay? Girl code. Now, I'm not going to see my sister struggle, and I know my sisters are not going to see me struggle.
Right.
But there is a point where it just goes too far,
Yes.
and you can't enable someone with poor spending habits.
Yes.
So that can also break a friendship too. Girl code.
Yep. I'll help you until you can do better. But if you don't want to do better, you're not going to pull me down. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all have to pay our bills.
That's right. And
We all have responsibilities. And you have to know your needs from your wants.
yes.
Yes.
And you know, I had a
Looks aren't
friend
everything.
who was frequently asking me for money. Car insurance, this bill, that bill. And
Just drama.
Because she knew you had it.
well, and see, that's the thing right there. When you have friends, they're like, "Oh, Renee's single.
She
Renee,
got that
this.
money.
She don't have. She can afford to
can
help me
afford,
out."
yeah.
Because you know, sometimes people will get mad, like, you know, I'm in need, and you know, you got it.
They
And
don't
I'm like,
know. They
my
really
overhead
don't know.
may not look just because my life don't look like yours. That don't mean that I don't have responsibilities.
That's right.
So that is something when you're constantly pulling on a friend to help you out financially. You know?
And you never get and do better. That's
Right.
a person you have to face reality. We want to help. We don't want to see anyone go under.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality part is your responsibility and maturity.
Right. Yes.
Put my finger
Put his
up.
His fingers up.
What about if the person is just texting you and you never have a conversation with them? Mm-hmm. I think that's a red flag too.
Mm-hmm.
It's always texting. It's never a conversation,
Ooh.
or you never see them.
See?
You know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you always have those also who, like you said, you don't hear from them until they need something.
There's always a text.
Interesting. I like that.
It's always-
And then it's so sad because people play a lot of games on your emotions.
Yes. Yes.
Your emotions.
That's
Now
what
you,
discerning.
uh-huh.
That's discerning.
And now the other thing I want to mention is about dealing with the workplace and then also dealing with church.
Church too. Church. Because we definitely. Daggone it, I done experienced a lot. I'm just thinking. I'm getting a little salty.
Get a little salty.
I just thought about it.
Something like
Y'all saw the way she was looking at me like.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, and we would give, we had our, we would have our annual youth explosion, and we would do kickball, softball, and sisters right in the church. I would bring my little friend around.
hello.
Okay.
When you bring your friend.
Yeah, and I got sisters literally whom oh my gosh,
they were
I've
doing-
never introduced them to, and they just walk up and hug him. Can I introduce? I mean, flaunting. One sister had a girlfriend at the park because it's a youth softball game, and we had a cookout. It was nice. Honey, they were drooling over
Yes.
my dude.
Yes. We were, I just couldn't believe it.
And everybody saw, and so you see people that you're worshiping with, and they're calling you sister, and they're up here, and they trying to get with your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sister, they're not even thinking about no sister code.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
No.
forget that.
You going in, baby.
Look, who is Renee?
You
Exactly.
don't know her.
And I'm gonna tell
You
another.
don't know what church you go to.
Yeah.
We're in two different churches. I don't even know this church right here, boy. You don't even know.
It was so funny because my mom saw it, all my sisters, my cousin's wife, everybody pulled me up. And you know what I said? Now, that wasn't someone I called a friend, because let's keep in mind, just because our church is far from a mega ministry, we are a small family like church. But you know, no disrespect to anybody, but I learned how to separate people that I worship with in the ministry from family and those I call friends. So you can worship with me, and yet I will sit up here and treat you like a coworker. Just like I have coworkers who I only am involved with them for the hours of the day that I'm at work. There are people that I only engage you for the time that I'm at church. And this is what I found that relationship to be. Secondly, here's a big one, but everybody in the family saw that. I've had a lot of experiences. I like talking about this. What about, and this also has happened to me, and I ended a friendship as well. People meet who I'm involved with, and then start following him on social media.
Oh my goodness.
That's a new one.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a new age one.
Yeah.
That's new age.
That's
So
new
I'm
age.
looking and I'm like, since when did you start following him?
At that,
Liking
remember,
his
you were
pictures.
saying that they were always griping and complaining about.
Told me, why are you with him? You're too good for him. But yet, you all in his comments, nice picture.
I like you.
That breaks
DM me.
Yeah.
DM me.
Yeah.
That breaks girl code. And the funny part is, my sister circle, my bonus sisters, none of them were following him.
That tells you. That's right there.
So
Hidden agendas.
So these are little girl code things that I'm looking at. Again, you can look at all levels of engagement where you interact with women, and from every walk of life, from childhood to present moment. And you start saying, I see red flags. And it is about discernment. God, what are you saying to me about this
situation.
Yeah. Especially the repeated pattern.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes, a lot of times people think that it's the length of time that you can know someone, but I've known people who have done some very low down things. And even though the length of your relationship has been 10 plus years, a lot of people had to cut it off.
Yeah.
You had to cut it off
More
because
years than that.
because of the betrayal and the hurt, and you just can't believe. And you know, another thing, I even know of some instances where girlfriends have literally gotten pregnant by their girlfriend's boyfriend or husband.
Yeah, I might be in handcuffs.
That's
Yeah, there are a lot of people that literally, I mean, we're dealing with, you have to really heal from the hurt and the pain and trying to get over bitterness. Yeah, because that's really low. Because now this is a child involved.
Yes.
I know some sisters, major sisters, who are, one of them were major. Well, both of them are major. And the other one, it was her boy, the first one was her boyfriend first, and she married her sister's boyfriend and had a child.
Oh, no. Sisters.
Sisters, major sisters. I'm not going to put their name out there.
Right.
But
You talking about biological or
yeah,
just
biological? No, they were biological sisters.
Oh.
And she married her sister's boyfriend.
And see, that's the thing. But I bet if you were to engage in a conversation with her, or maybe you
I
have.
don't know if they talk now. Hopefully they talk now. But it's been
I wouldn't
years.
be. God have to help me.
Exactly.
It's been years.
I'm
But I bet you it
serious.
was some red flags before that built up to that. You know how you say, I should have known when she did this or he did that. So it's little red flags. I feel like you get little pebbles thrown at you, a little sign that'll make you raise an eyebrow like, well, that was strange. And then you still hang in there. You don't address it. You say, okay, I'm going to keep my eye on that. And you sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug. So the pebble then turns into a big boulder where you get the outcome like that.
An outburst.
Yeah.
And see, with like me, things that really are alarming to me and look totally out of character, my expression shows immediately.
Yeah.
I have never been able to cover it up because I'm looking like, what in the world?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, I'm going to share one of my sister's experience. Again, dealing in the church.
Okay.
I'm not going to say which sister.
Because I'm looking.
Yeah, she's looking. She's pulling it out.
Yeah.
So, a sister brought a friend to church, and that friend continued to visit. And then the sister in our ministry brings her friend to my sister, who shall remain nameless, for the friend to say,
I know who they are.
I gotta confess, I have feelings for your husband.
Yeah.
Hold on. Say it again. That went past you right there. Say you had a sister
Uh-huh.
that came to your church,
Uh-huh.
kept coming to your church,
Uh-huh.
but had feelings for one of your other sisters' husband.
So you just confused me?
Nay, repeat it again for our brother. Please do.
I'm like, I'm not sure.
When have your other sister?
Look, I'm sitting up here like, I don't know know which one of us just had a blonde moment, but I'm going to tell the story over again.
Please do.
Do it again, because I was over in controlling it.
Okay. So my sister has a husband.
Oh, okay.
My married sister, was confronted by a sister in our ministry who was bringing a friend to church.
Right.
Female friend.
Free male friends. Okay.
Yeah, a free male friend. That's
Free
what you
male
said.
friend.
Free.
Okay.
R-E-E.
She was free.
So the sister in our church goes to my sister along with her friend.
Okay.
The friend wanted to confess and did confess to my sister, I'm attracted to your husband. I have feelings for your husband.
Well, let me say this. So we be on. Most of the time, especially because in churches, the men that do cheat on their wives in the ministry are with single women, because most of the churches are more women than they are men.
Correct.
So you have to look at that that situation right there. And so it when all is you looking at and you're seeing a good couple like that, you want to have that. So you're attracted to that. It's not that she might have been attracted to the man, but most likely they're attracted to the situation of
The
what
position.
The
Okay.
position.
Yeah.
that
Title.
So she saw him as that. It's sort of like women going after preachers or musicians. They're attracted to that position, and they probably really don't even like the person, but they're attracted to. But she probably really was attracted to him. She probably was.
Yeah.
So that's some girl code stuff.
Yeah.
So
And that takes, to me, that's the last thing you expect for somebody to be coming to you about your husband.
right. Like I mean
It's like you have to,
She was like letting them know, hey, if you ever let your guard down,
In other words,
be
that's
right
it.
there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right there, baby. If you
Yep.
ever let your guard down,
Yep.
I'm coming in. I'm
So-
coming in with blazing saddles right there.
So even to this present moment right now, I don't know how I feel about that.
What
I have problems.
Do she? Well, of course, the girl probably don't go to the church.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the whole idea with that whole situation is because there's some other stuff that I think that's why churches really need to have a singles ministry. They really do. And I've been fighting for that for years because it's the singles, it's us that go through the juggler. Because we're always in a position where as though either a married person coming after us or we're going after a married person because we're in church and there's no other, other wall there. Just, hey, we come, because most of the churches are bound on married couples. They really don't deal with singles.
So my concern is, I guess I'm putting it in, I'm looking at the sister who was a member and invited
The
her
other sister.
friend.
Okay.
I'm not sure, for me, of the benefit of going to my sister
It
to
shouldn't have never
confess
happened.
that.
It shouldn't have never happened.
Yeah, I think hidden agendas, and me personally, just listening, I have to wonder whether the member felt the same way
That-
too.
I
I think it was the
understand.
member more than the other. She probably put her sister up to do it, but it was probably her.
So, I mean,
You know,
honestly,
people,
if you're
or both of
serving,
them.
like, okay, well, if you're serving in ministry and we go to the same church and you're married and I know you and your wife, but I encourage a girlfriend to start visiting. And this girlfriend is saying, wow, I kind of got some feelings for him. I'm not sure. I don't don't think I would
Well,
go to your
I wouldn't
wife
feel
and say,
comfortable even-
"This is my friend." I would correct my friend.
Yes.
and I would. It
Me
would
too.
never
It wouldn't
go.
No.
I don't
Right,
see
right.
the
I
benefit
wouldn't- right,
of
right,
that.
right.
You know?
Yes.
Right. Well, and I've been in the position where it's though a guy ended up with my ex, but me and him wasn't friends. It was my homeboy friend. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So it really didn't, wasn't too much there. We knew each other, but we wasn't like that.
Close.
Right, we wasn't
Close,
close, but it was my
okay.
homeboy, and I knew my homeboy knew that he probably felt that way years ago. But that's fine. But he never came up to me until years later. They got together.
I would not if I
mean,
were
we
in
cool
that
now. Me and
predicament.
Uncle, we cool, but,
Yeah, I would not have taken my friend
No.
by the
Now
hand
that we're thinking
to
of
go
it
to
now.
a sister in church where your husband is in
That's
ministry
true.
to say, "I want to bring you all together," basically so that she can confess to you that she's
I would've
attracted.
never did that.
Never.
And again, this happened years ago, but now that we are discussing it, it does now shed light on the hidden agenda of the one who brought it to my sister.
I just don't understand
because
the purpose.
you're right. I would have right away said, no. He's
Right,
a
we're not
married
doing that.
man.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
And why do we have to confess this to his wife? This is something that
We
you
can
need to
have
go
among
to.
ourselves.
Yeah,
Right,
but
we
you
can
need
do
to
it.
talk to God about
Yeah,
because
yeah,
this
yeah,
is an
yeah.
issue because it's not God in it with you having feelings for a married man.
So this is my thing. To my knowledge, and again, my sister who this happened to, she's not here to speak to that. But for me, I don't know if the girl wanted to join the church and say, "Okay, I really like this ministry, but I'm attracted to your husband," because then I'm going to backtrack to the member who's been a part of the ministry for some time to say, "Why'd you bring her to me?
Yeah.
That would be the major question right
Why'd
Uh-huh.
you bring her to me?" That's what I want to
What-
know.
right, what's the
Why?
major
What is
issue?
the purpose? So I don't know if my sister knows what the purpose was in bringing the three of them together. But the bottom line, to stay in line with today's topic, violation of girl code.
Oh, definitely.
Violation.
Definitely.
Right in the church. Okay, so you can say, "Hey, I want to do things. I want to be in order." No, you correct your girlfriend with that. Look, I'm bringing you to church because I want to see you get closer to God, whatever. But he's married. Don't bring it to me.
No. And then
Yeah.
my thing is another violation to me of girl code is if I'm going through and I go to you for some encouragement, and then you are then making me sound and look stupid. Like, what is wrong with you? Get over it. But then when you're in the same position, you have an excuse and every reason why. To
Oh,
me,
yeah. Oh,
that is a respect level in communication. When I'm talking, the other thing is, don't cut me off.
Yeah.
Let's hear each other out. You have some people, they
don't cut me off.
constantly, as soon as, wait a minute, now you need to do it this way.
That's condescending.
No, I have issues with that. I don't mind hearing people out and considering what you have to say, but at the end of the day, it is my choice, and whatever choice I make, you should be able to respect that, even if I have to come back to you and acknowledge bad choice.
Yeah.
But which one of us can say we haven't made bad choices?
That's right.
Yeah.
I certainly have been in situations with my friends where they'll say, "Oh, nay, I don't know about this one." And I'll tell them, "I don't know either, but I'm going in. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to do it." So either way, when I come back to you, we're either going to celebrate or you have a box of tissue on hand.
That's right.
Just be there
Hey,
for
you
me
my
because
girl.
Be there.
I'm making
Yes,
this choice.
yes.
And my friends will always let me know if they agree or disagree. But either way, I'm going to be right here to applaud you
That's right.
or to give you my shoulder to
That's
cry
right.
on.
That's right.
what I need. Don't talk down to me.
No.
That's a pet peeve of mine. Don't talk. Tavy knows.
Yeah.
Don't talk down
do
to
that.
me. Things can go left quickly. Yeah. So.
Yes. And you know, the other thing that I'd like to key into is when you talk down to somebody and then you turn around when you got what you think is a good girlfriend. She comes among the other girlfriends and talking about you, and you're not even there.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're sitting up there and you thinking, huh? And then
Yeah.
all the other girls looking like, okay, you
That
definitely
breaking girl
violating
code.
the girl code.
Yeah. You
I
all
can't even
pull
speak
together.
up for myself, and I'm thinking we're close, and you know my situation,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm not with you. You talking about
You better
me?
be saying it to say, y'all, how can we help Renee? How
Yeah.
can we encourage?
Yeah.
Don't just be like, y'all know I ain't. No, that's a problem.
Now I done told her before. She doesn't listen, and just going on and on.
Need to be delivered.
So we're going to do the last girl code thing.
Go ahead.
Mine is
Oh boy.
if I'm on the outs with somebody and we all have mutual friends.
Oh boy.
If I'm mad at them, should my sister, I'm not saying either way, I'm asking a question. Should my circle be mad too?
Nah.
Okay. I'm just saying, is that violating girl code?
It depends on what it is.
Okay.
It really depends on what it is, because there is a situation that I know of that I just don't deal with that person just because of the situation.
Okay.
And we're all friends, and it don't matter. It happened to them. I'm like, no, we done. I don't care what it. We done. That's it. It's over. You don't get none from me. We had to do that here. And all of our sponsors or whatever had to deal with it too. We didn't stop them from dealing with the person, but because of the way they did us, they felt as though, now if you did them like that,
Right.
then you're going to do us like that too.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like business. I
Yeah.
like that.
That's
Like,
a
okay, let's see how they move business.
Right. Business. Now, when it comes to personal, because it's a personal situation, then we just say, you know what? And I have been in that situation too, where it's though, okay, I'm done. Because the situation they have me treated one of my friends.
Okay. I've
hard.
had both to happen.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, if you don't deal, we don't deal. Okay. And I've told people that, hey, how you doing? You and so still talk? I say, no, here's the memo. We don't like them anymore. Then it's been situations where, okay, this happened to me, but I understand you haven't had that experience. Just don't bring that person around me.
Okay, right.
Okay?
It's a respect thing.
Yeah, so don't, and I've had friends to tell me, I don't like this person, don't have me around them, and I've told them that as well. But it's been because that person had a closer connection to the person than what I did. So really, I could have taken it or left it, But if it is if it's a closer circle where you are mutually connected, that may be something different. What do you think, Taylor?
That is real. And again, I'm going to say it also depends on the situation, because even with Renee and I being sisters, we have encountered things of that nature, dealing in the church, dealing business-wise. And to me, it comes down to the communication that I have with my sister or that I have with my friend. I'm telling them the situation. I would not want to cause any rifts or discord, but the loyalty, if someone has betrayed me, especially when you're dealing with finances or someone betraying you in a relationship, then I'm going to look at that differently.
Yeah.
You cut her off and I'm cutting her off too. It's just certain things.
Yeah.
And again, it depends. If it's like little minor things, okay. And then at that, and I'm looking, okay, that's your friend, so I really don't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
But when it comes down to the serious issues, if you cutting her off, I am too.
Yeah.
It's a line.
Yeah, and it depends. Yeah, once you cross over the boundaries, then that's it. Yeah.
And that's what I'll tell my friends, like,
Yeah.
okay, if y'all share something with me and it's a person that I'm cool with, I'm like, well, you know I ain't going to deal with them anymore.
I
Right.
hope you know this.
Yeah, you know this,
Yeah.
okay?
You know it right off.
And
You
I've
just
been
be
in situations
straightforward.
where I didn't know, and I'm telling it. And nothing was secret. Like, oh, I went out with so-and-so that I met through a friend.
Right.
And she was like, well, I have a problem with that. And I was like, well, this person gave me the impression that y'all mended. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
She was like, no. And I told her the exact incident. And she was like, no, it's not like that. And I only was connected to the person through her. And I said, okay, now that I know. And she was like, oh, I knew you didn't know. And I said, well, I'm going to back out because y'all have history and we came together because of you.
Right.
So that's how I want to respect the person. When it came down to my sister and a situation went down, I was like, what are we doing?
How we
Because,
gonna carry this?
yeah, regardless.
You're the stronger piece.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
We got the, if we gonna stick together or we
Yes.
Right.
How do
Right.
you
How
feel
you
about
wanna carry
this?
this, right?
Because I will disconnect.
Right.
Right.
And I
I-
told her that.
Yep.
I will disconnect.
Yeah.
She was
There's no
like,
problem.
I'm not continuing. I don't like it. We talked about it. I
Yep.
said, that situation is wrong. I
Right.
don't agree with it, but I'm still connected to the person.
Right,
So I
right.
said, how do you feel? Because I will break the connection.
That's it.
And she said, no, you continue on. But then over over some time, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to fall back.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then I would like to stress another violation of girl code. Don't be hand and all touching all on my man.
Yeah.
Lord.
No, we ain't
All
going to
the
play.
joking and the
Oh,
The play fight.
yeah.
Can't handle the truth.
No.
can't handle
Uh-uh.
it. You can't handle
I don't like
You can't
stuff like
handle that.
keep your hands to yourself.
I thought you were going to say, keep your hand off my man.
Oh, no, that's a good one.
Hey,
That's
just
a
to
good
let
one.
y'all
I ain't
know,
think of that one.
Just to let you know, right? I was here in the studio with another crew, whatever, and the guy, he kept looking at my fiance, and I said, "Watch he get up and give my fiance a hug."
Uh-huh.
And he did that, and I looked right at him. I said, "Dog, you ain't had to do that." And so I put him on point to let him know. What
Don't
I
be
do.
doing that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I see
It's
you.
Good. I see it.
Yeah.
It's good, dog. It's good. You know, it is what it is.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, whoever the individual is, who they really are will come out.
Put time on it.
Put time on it. If they're hidden agendas, sneakiness, snakiness, it's going to come out.
And you just got to sit back and observe. There are certain things that you keep an eye on, and then there are certain things where you're like,
You
okay,
gotta
I
handle,
gotta say
'cause it don't
something.
cross the boundaries.
No, because what's
Yeah.
not going to happen is this is not going to happen a second time. You know?
And neither should we tolerate disrespect.
Right.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the
you
day.
will respect me. I will respect you. And if it gets to the point where we can't, then it's time to sever the relationship.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So this has been a great
Yay!
conversation on Girl Code. I really
Yes!
enjoyed this. Y'all done been all up in my business.
Yes.
But that's what we're here for. So we want to thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for being in our comments. So
Yes,
we want to thank you. I want to shout out those. We had Lisa, my girl Lisa Jones, in the comments. We had Cordelia Gaitherite in the comments.
Yes.
We had Fatima Lambert in the comments. We thank you so much for tuning in. We had our cousin Loretta watching. Tabby, we had Joy Moses on.
Okay.
All right.
James, I think James Washington.
Okay, James, our cousin James joined in. We thank you all for tuning in, lending us your ear, your comments. Please continue to tune in to us. We are here every 2 weeks at 11 a.m. And Octavia, you have any closing words?
Again, be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Hold to your girl code.
Yep.
Don't allow nothing or no one to separate you from the girl code.
And be your sister's keeper.
And remember, you reap what you sow.
Oh, Lord. There go the churchy
Handle the
thing.
truth.
You see how she did me?
They gonna reap it.
So we thank you all. And please like us, support us, follow
Yes,
us,
share,
it, call in, have some conversation. And y'all, we're going to do better with advertising. Will has gotten on us.
Yes,
we're going to
he
do
has.
better. And we're going to be blowing up your timelines to tune in to Diary of a Preacher's Kid. Thank you so much. We
Yes,
love you.
love
And
you.
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Peace.